várias partes do mundo, as taxas de natalidade vêm caindo. O que fazer para resolver isso?
Right, so I think it would be great if people could get off their phones and start learning about each other. Right? So if you are always immersed on your phones and you don't actually have any female friends, then it's much harder to build empathy, understanding, to know what real women are like and to understand their perspective. And then it's much more likely that you'll be vulnerable to people who will say, oh, women are greedy, women are materialistic. So I think that friendship and understanding one another is like the building blocks of solidarity between people.
Será que em países mais desiguais, mais pobres, se relacionar com homens que têm mais capital financeiro faça mais sentido?
Right, so absolutely. So let's suppose you are a woman from a very poor favela and the schools are terrible, right? Here in Brazil, that's a major problem, quality of public schools. So it's very, very hard for you to gain upward mobility, right? How can you get a job? How can you progress in life? And so we see it right in Colombia, in Venezuela, women get plastic surgery, right? Because they're trying to attract a partner who can look after them. So absolutely, where the state does not invest in education and upward mobility and where there are not good jobs, a woman may recreate the sort of telenovela, right? The poor girl finding the rich guy. The telenovela happens in a context of income inequality and where women are sort of socialized to look to men for providers. There is definitely a lot of cultural differences around the world, but it's not just reducible to economics. So for example, I lived for 18 months in Zambia. I lived in a slum, I lived in a swamp, and there women can move independently. So they can wear, whatever they like, they can find their own partners, they can find their own boyfriends. And I could go to a state in India that is just as poor, perhaps even richer, and whereby women are closely chaperoned, they have to veil, they're not allowed to speak to boys. So it's not just about economics, but it's also about the culture and the restrictions on women.
Assine Valete Plus da Espectro Cinza ou morra na ignorância e você ganha uma revista.